Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be changing the power steering pressure switch on this G37 right behind me. So we're going to be replacing this little guy, and it's going to be a straightforward replacement. It's going to be very easy to get to, and I'm going to show you how I like to do it. Some people might like to do it a little bit different, but I'm going to show you how you could access it through the top, and we're going to remove some things. So this should be a very easy, quick video. You should have your car up and running very quick after you replace it. So the reason I am replacing the switch is because my switch started to leak. It's actually seeping power steering fluid from the center of the sensor, and it's leaking it into the pigtail, so it's time to replace it. One of the other symptoms that you might have when this is going bad is that the pigtail is plugged in and it's saying open circuit. The sensor is bad. It'll either show too high of a pressure or too low of a pressure, things like that, things of that nature. But for my situation, what's going on is the sensor itself, it's leaking and it's seeping through the plastic. So it does come with its own O-ring already, so we're not going to have to swap any O-rings around. I will have this part listed in the description just in case you're looking for it. I picked it up in Amazon. I mean, that's what I do. In today's world, I just pick everything up in Amazon. It's easier, it's quicker, it's delivered to my house. I don't have to hunt for it. So if that makes it easier, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you exactly what to do. All right, so I usually don't record with this little mini tripod, and hopefully it works out great. And this is how I'll do my videos from now on. But what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna remove this intake filter that's right here, the runner and this box away from this area, because of course the power steering pump is here. Well, this is a reservoir, the pump is down there. We're gonna have to remove this and just put it out of the way so we could access that sensor. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so this is what it should look like, and it's relatively easy to get to everything here. So now that we have that air box out of the way, you could easily see the power steering pump, and you can see the sensor is right under here. So this is the easiest way I have discovered to do this. So right now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that sensor. Now I'm going to share with you the combination that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this 27 millimeter socket, and it's a deep socket because the sensor has to sit inside here. So this is a combination I'm going to be using to remove the sensor. If you could get to it, you could use a wrench, or you could use a crescent wrench, something to break it loose, but I'm going to be using the socket. I also have installed in the back of this 1/2-inch socket, because it's so big, I have installed this reducer, so it goes from 1/2 inch to 3/8, and then from 3/8 it also goes to 1/4 inch. And I'm going to be using this 1/4 inch ratchet, and the ratchet that I'm going to be using is a swivel. Now I know there's a lot of pieces here that I have put together to be able to get to this part, and this just makes it easier for me. This is the combination of tools that I have to be able to access this part. Use whatever you have. If you use a crescent wrench, it'll probably work. You might be able to break it loose, but this is what I'm going to use, and it works. Now you can see that the sensor has been cracked for a while, and I tried to make it work a long time ago, and I put some glue, some epoxy on there, and I let it ride for a little bit, but it's done. So it's seen better days, and yeah, it finally just broke in pieces. It broke in half, and now it's time to install the new one. So you can use one of these clamps just like this to be able to hold the fluid from spilling all over the floor or into your container. But since I want to install new fluid in this reservoir, I just went ahead and just let it drain all the way. So it's not a big deal. If you drain it, you could add more, or if you want to keep it, You use one of these hose clamps and you could save as much of it as you can. Something you should consider doing if you don't want power steering fluid dropping all over your garage or your driveway is putting some sort of container so you could capture all of that fluid once it starts to drain. Okay, so now it's time to install the sensor back on, and like I mentioned before, it does have its own O-ring, but before I installed it with this O-ring, I like to put a little bit of silicone lubrication or silicone paste if you have some on the O-ring itself, because when you start to tighten something with an O-ring, a lot of the times it could get pinched and it won't seal properly. Some of the techs like to use petroleum jelly, and it works fine for some O-rings, but for other O-rings it could cause them to swell up because it's petroleum based, and there's some O-rings that don't like it. So I like to use a silicone lubrication. It's safe for all sorts of different O-rings, practically all O-rings. There's only an exception, a few O-rings that you wouldn't use it on, but anything pretty much automotive, it's good to go. So I'll also have a link in the description of this stuff. I use it for practically everything. Alright, so now that you have the sensor installed and the pigtail plugged in, make sure you plug in that pigtail. It's time to install the airbox back on, and you should be able to start your car very shortly. Okay, so if you lost any fluid at all, make sure to top it off. Oh yes, and of course, don't forget to plug your mass air sensor. Your car will not be happy if you didn't plug that in. Alright, so that's pretty much it. It really is a piece of cake. All you have to do is remove that sensor, add any fluid if you lost any, and start it up. And then of course you got to look and make sure that you're not leaking. You got to make sure that the seal is working properly, and hopefully if you use the right lubrication, you didn't have any problems with the seal and everything's good. If you happen to get air in your system and your power steering pump starts making all sorts of noises, and when you turn to the left or to the right it's making all sorts of winding noises, make sure to bleed your system. In order to bleed your system, you would turn your steering wheel all the way to the left, hold it there for a couple of seconds, not pinned, just leave it to the left, let it cycle for 2 or 3 seconds, then go all the way to the right, let it cycle for a couple of other seconds, and then return it back to normal and let the car idle for a while and shut it off. When you shut it off, it lets all those air bubbles make their way to the top. They will pop, and you will repeat this cycle as long as you need it until the system is completely bled. If you continue having noise, then maybe perhaps you might have air seeping into the seal somehow. So you might have to do a little bit of investigation to see if you're still leaking power steering fluid, if that was your situation. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start this car up and get that situated. So if you found this video helpful at all, please consider subscribing. I have a ton of how-tos, and there's also builds happening in the channel. So we'll see you in the next one.